Hey, good morning everybody. Ed the Pond Professor here. I am coming to you from Cantigny Gardens. This is located in Winfield, Illinois. Getting ready to get this project going. Probably going to start it in about a week. I am here to meet with the design team today, and then I actually head out to Flair Fishing over in Iowa. We're doing a small project with Andrew Flair, and we also have all of our pandemonium stuff. So I'm getting ready, I'm doing presentations, but I'm really excited about this upcoming project here at Cantigny Gardens. Alright, so here we are, we're in the Idea Garden. This is a beautiful little garden space that they've had for many, many years, in the process of being completely renovated. This is a really unique project. We're trying to recreate the geology of northern Illinois. The northwestern corner of Illinois, which is going to be located right here, is known as the driftless zone. The driftless zone has not been glaciated, so the glaciers that came through 10,000 years ago flattened everything out, which gave us the very beautiful, rich soils of most of Illinois. But that little northwestern corner is very, very unique. So we want to try to create a unique rocky section up in this area, little spring creeks and things like that coming out, fast moving water. There's going to be a walkway going across over in this section. Over here, this is going to be the northeastern corner of Illinois, which is on the shorelines of Lake Michigan. That section will have marshlands and things like that, and that will actually be the main filtering system for the entire water feature. This area in between those two water features is going to be kind of that glaciated area, drumlins, cames, and eskers. And again, this is the whole thing, this Idea Garden. They get a lot of students coming through here on a regular basis, so we want to make it very educational. Walkway is going to come across. We're going to have these two streams are going to converge in this section. We're going to have a long meandering stream in between. You can see our team over here. They're going to be located in the pooling areas of the pond, and that's where our pumps are going to be located. They started doing a lot of the renovation work already, so this had completely different garden space. They have been in the process of changing things here for the past year or more. Now we're going to go check out some of the boulders. So here's some of the rocks that we have to deal with. And now we're going to go look at some of the other rocks that they have here on the site. Alright, we are looking at one of the stone piles here on the property. It's over by the golf course. So these are some of that material that we're going to use. This is kind of that glacial till that we're looking for. So this has been rounded stone, and this is going to be perfect for this project. So I'm back at Aqualand after our meeting over at the garden. What I want to show you real quick is not only the overall design over in my office, but I want to show you this real cool rock that we're going to add to the feature. This is pretty awesome. I actually had this made several years ago now, unfortunately. It was actually made for a potential project at the Lincoln Park Zoo that was unfortunately canceled. This is the perfect project to utilize it on. This is actually native Illinois limestone. This is coming from that driftless zone. So this is coming out of the Galena area. Beautiful, beautiful stone. Love the weathering and character on it. This stone weighs about 7,000 pounds, and I had it mapped out for an interactive stream for children. So what better place to use it, Cantigny Garden Project, because they want kids to interact with the water in certain areas. The water in here is going to be very shallow, so we're actually going to set this inside of the stream, and the water actually is going to start from this side, and it's going to come in from multiple little feeder streams. All that water is going to come together and then it's going to go out in one discharge point. These little sections here in between, you can see there's some grooves and stuff like that that have been cut in. I designed those for actually blocks of wood, like a 2x6. That could be actually slid in place, so that would allow children to block water off from here and force all the water to go through a different location. This one has that area cut out as well as that one. So all that water will kind of come together and then continue downstream. So what I want to do is I want to utilize this really cool piece of rock in the design, which is going to be a lot of fun. Let's head up into my office so we could actually go over the design in detail. All right, we're back in my office and I want to show you a little bit of the drawing. So some of the concepts that we're working with for the Cantigny project. Let's take a look. So here is the idea garden. So here's that main pavilion area here in the center. And this is all existing stuff. It's existing and they've redone everything. So this is kind of in that southeast corner of the property, adjacent to the golf course. So the golf course is right down in this section over here. This is going to be our water feature. So the idea with this, obviously we want to create a water course, but we wanted to try to make it educational, to recreate an Illinois geological as well as geographical representation of the watersheds. So this is the northwest corner of the water feature garden area. So that section is going to mimic the northwest corner of Illinois, which is known as the driftless area. So the driftless zone was not glaciated. So the glaciers that came through approximately 10,000 years ago actually crushed and they flattened out all of Illinois, making it very flat and making it very fertile for farming. This northwestern corner is kind of rolling hills, there's spring creeks, there's big sandstone bluffs. It's kind of on the edge of the Mississippi River. So that's going to kind of be our elevation change. This is an area that we want to have for kids to climb around, shallow, fast moving water, lots of big boulders. Then we're going to have this deck installed, and that deck is going to kind of be as a barrier. Because it's going to be just a few inches above the water level, any children in here would have to get out of the water to keep going downstream. So this is going to kind of be just that little bit of a play zone over in the northeast corner. So that's this side here. This is supposed to mimic the marshlands of the shoreline along Lake Michigan. Lowlands, marshy, high biological diversity, and that is actually going to become part of our filter system. So we're actually going to create a constructed wetland filter within that marsh zone to detoxify the water. So our pumps are located on the bottom. We're going to send water here as well as over on this side. And so there's going to be kind of a little rolling landscape here in between. That is going to have some really cool features, eskers, drumlins, cames. These are geologic terms, geography terms for different types of features that have been created through glaciation periods. These are actually created as the glaciers are melting. They start releasing their water. They take all of the sand and the gravels and that type of stuff and they deposit it in very specific arrangements. And that's what we want to try to recreate in here. So I'll have this little boardwalk going through. We do not want people going in this area because that's part of the filter. Now everything's going to kind of come together. We're going to have these streams coming underneath that boardwalk. That boardwalk's going to create some really interesting vantage points. I also love the boardwalk because it's not perfectly straight like these. So every time you have kind of a zig or a zag inside of there, it's going to make people slow down just a little bit. That's what we want to do. So one of our challenges we have is to get that elevation that we need here, and it's because we have a pathway right next to it. So right adjacent to that pathway, we're going to have to build up some stone walls to create a series of terraces to get to the desired height. Both these rivers are going to come together. This area here in between, kind of like the Illinois River. So the Illinois River starts to widen up, it slows down. We're going to have some marshland plantings on the side. We're going to go in with more flatter type rocks. Everything's going to kind of come together down here in this pooling area, and there's going to be another bridge crossing over here. This is going to be more of a stone bridge, just a big stone slab going across. So we want to have lots of vantage points even in between. We might put in some stepping stones or something like that, just to add visual interest as well as something a little bit more interactive for people to kind of hop around on. We will have fish inside of here. The fish will help to keep the pond a little bit cleaner. The pool area is going to connect into our intake bay, going to act as our pre-filter, and it's going to help remove any leaf debris. And again, this is a big, heavily wooded areas all around this, so we're going to get lots of debris coming in here. We want to try to keep as good a water quality as possible, which is why we have, actually see here we have 3 pump vaults. One's going to go over here. The other pump is going to go over here to our marshland. That pump has to run all the time. The third pump is just going to be for circulation down here in the bottom. The main filter over here, which is the wetland, that will only need to be cleaned once a season. So as you can see, this is going to be an incredible project. The facility is unbelievable. The people here are great. The collaboration that we're going to be able to pull off together is really going to be spectacular. I'm looking forward to this project. We have some incredible raw materials to work with that are all right here on site. So I love being able to recycle all these things, as well as tell the story of how water is utilized in our natural environment. So stay tuned for the next few weeks as we showcase this entire project from start to finish. We'll see you soon.